Oh, I'm glad I've done my nails. Look, that's nice. Right.
She's the first one to say that.
Okay, so Cherrywood Podcast, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, Mia Glyn-Jones, actor.
Welcome to the Cherrywood Podcast with me, Simon Burridge.
And me, Rachel Burridge.
Shut up.
There we go.
Come and take a seat.
It's Mia. Mia from Dusty.
Not Mia from Dust.
Yeah, Mia from Dusty. You smell very nice.
Do I?
Yeah.
She's coming
I've
up to
pulled.
you.
Right. And that's it. Thanks, everyone. Right, Mia is an actress. She was in Dusty that I directed, this is going to be out around June time.
Okay. I did wonder that when it would be out.
Oh, well, I think it might be out June.
Yeah.
Ignore the dates when I say dates because I don't know when I'm putting them out. Yeah, we got director or whatever, best director on London Movie Awards.
Yeah.
Which has only been going a couple of years.
Of the year. How do they know?
There we go.
How do they know that you're the best director?
Well, they just looked at me, didn't they?
Okay. No, I was talking about this earlier on the way here.
How can they tell the directing without knowing the directing?
Without seeing the directing. Cause
that's a question
does
I've
that
all...
just mean that I'm good acting and they've looked at me and gone, oh, she's good acting?
That's what I'm thinking.
Like,
they've looked at the whole production
Yeah.
and thought, that must have been directed, all right.
yeah.
That's
but you
what I'm
could've
thinking.
Gone, go. You did
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
you did.
Bob went, go.
Tell me how long it is before that falls off before we get into it. Then we go to our sponsors.
I love that you just
Right,
said
okay.
it.
Have we got new tape on it?
It's got 2 bits of new tape. It usually has 3.
Am I belittling it if I say
Okay.
like 4 minutes?
No.
Oh, all right.
Not
It's
at
4
all.
minutes.
You say whatever you want.
I'll say 4 minutes. 4 minutes, 12 seconds.
4 minutes, 12
Yeah,
seconds.
rather
Let's
than
get that
being
near.
dead
Yeah. So 4 minutes, 12 seconds. We're going to go to sponsors and then we'll be back.
Today's sponsors are Cherrywood Properties, your premier choice for expert building solutions. From concept to completion, trust them to turn your dreams into a reality.
Visit their website today at DiGiorgiosProperties.com.
De Medici Associates, chartered structural and civil engineers.
Based in the UK with a worldwide reach.
Visit their website on demediciassociates.com.
And we're back.
He normally sits there for 5 minutes going, we're like, you can edit this bit in.
Put your mic down because you're only here for your pretty face. That's it. And then bend it upwards. I had already adjusted this for you and you've moved it around, didn't
I
you?
haven't touched it. I've literally sat down, but who sits here?
You.
It wasn't that high when you got there.
It was definitely not this low.
Okay. Anyway, darling, how are you? You all right?
Yeah.
Have you done a lot of acting since we filmed last year? Because it's literally a year ago, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
I
the end
think
of April, wasn't it?
End of April.
Yeah.
I know. I was just turned 23 when we started filming.
She's only about
She
And now
baby, isn't she?
She's 24. No, but that made me laugh. So on the brief of like doing Dusty, they wanted, or Rob wanted someone 25 to 30, and I was 22 when I applied, just turning 23, and I was like, oh, that's close enough.
Yeah.
And then in our first day of filming,
Hang about. I'm getting a really loud humming noise coming up. What's that from?
Something's going on outside.
What?
it's like train,
A train or...
or the car, lorry.
I don't know. It only...
Has it gone now?
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it was outside. Yeah.
I'm leaving all this in.
It's like-
Yeah, unfortunately, the studio's by a main road, which is ideal for podcasts,
Train
and by a train station.
It's very
So if you want to
convenient
come and
get
visit
to,
the train station, it's Strood Station, just down the road. You'd be able to hear it in every podcast. Right, sorry about that.
That's what I was saying. Oh, I was too young to be in it if I'd followed the brief. And then in the car on the first day, the boys were talking about how old they were. And like Rob never asked me how old I was. And then he found out my age and went, oh, I hate this. No, you're too young, freaking out. Because he gave me so many references, being like, oh, I want you to do something from like this film. I was like, Rob, I've never seen that.
Oh, right, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
cool.
too young for that. I'd said like the year I was born. He's like, oh, don't like that.
Oh my God.
Like, he could be my dad. I think I kept saying that to him. He could be my dad.
Could be your dad.
Rob must be similar age to you, is he?
No, I love that.
No, I think he's only about 4 or 5 years younger
He's about
than you.
he's about 42.
I don't actually know your age. I just went, no.
I'm 50 this year.
Yeah.
That's not far off.
Oh,
That is
like,
not far off. And the train helped.
Yes.
Didn't it? The train helped.
You've got a Skype going.
Oh my goodness. What sort of shambles is this? Right, we're going to cut and we're coming back. Sorry, darling.
That's all right.
We're talking about old films and how old Rob was and how
Oh,
old
yeah.
you were.
Yeah, let's go from there. I'm 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 50.
Yeah.
I can't remember how I said it. Yeah, just say he's 50 this year, right? Just go from there.
So he's 50 this year.
You can come to my party if you want. Sounds wrong, doesn't it?
No, I'll come to your party.
Won't it feel like you're just going to a load of
What are you
parents'
doing for it?
parties?
No, my friend I've got older, that's sort of relatable. I've got like older friends, and her 50th birthday, she literally hired like a massive like field garden, is it yurts or whatever? She went all out, and there was like silent disco.
Wow.
And that's to be a 50th. I was like, so cool. Like any
Ooh.
year. But
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I've got doing something similar. I'm doing a festival style.
yeah, it's sort of like a
And
festival
because I've
style.
got loads of musician friends,
Yeah.
we're all just going to jump up on stage and jam with each other throughout the whole night. So from about 2 o'clock to,
Yeah.
I think you
11?
sing as well, don't you? Do you sing a little bit?
Yes, I can do.
So we're going to let Mia Mortals get on stage and sing.
Yeah.
Mia. Morton.
Mia. That's what your surname should be. Mia
My
Mortal.
stage name.
Oh my
Mia
God.
Mortal.
Oh, that's what something I've always been wanting to ask you.
Mhm.
Will you marry me? No. No. Mia, it's got to be after Pulp Fiction, isn't it? I think I've asked you this before when filming.
I think we are.
Think yes.
Oh, good.
I feel there's not lies, but different like, oh, it's come from this. Like my dad told me once it's from an ex-girlfriend. I was like, charming, thanks, Dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is your dad younger than me?
No.
That's all right then.
Only by like 2 or 3 years.
That's all right. I can handle that.
I'll take that.
But I think it's like, it might have been, Pulp Fiction or Mamma Mia, that it's like,
Oh, Mamma
Yeah.
Mia, Mamma Mia. Is someone called Mia in it? It's not though, are they?
no, it's
No.
just the song.
See, I think it's Mia Wallace. This is Mia
that-
Wallace.
is
Have
that
you-
what you're
have you
hoping
seen
for?
Pulp Fiction?
No.
Oh my
No.
goodness.
Right, Simon's going to give you some homework. Go
I've
away.
not seen Pulp Fiction. We've started doing quizzes. Have you seen them?
No.
We're rubbish at them. Every Monday, well, not every Monday. Some
You're
Mondays.
rubbish at them.
Some Mondays we
Yeah.
do. We did a Star Wars versus Friends,
Yeah.
and she destroyed me on that. She gave me the dodgy Star Wars
I
questions.
didn't.
And then the week after, because we're clutching at straws for Mondays and what to talk about on Monday, we
Is
did.
that just you two?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
like them. I think they're very funny.
Oh.
Oh.
You're just always bickering, and I think
Oh, yeah, all the time. See, a lot.
I
it's
think
weird.
that's so good.
There's people. There's people that come on the podcast for the business side of things
Yeah.
and find out the story, and then there's people that just want to hear us bollocking.
Yeah.
That's all right then, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah, and then what was it? Aladdin. Her favourite film's Aladdin. You've
Yeah.
got us in that.
No. I've seen the live action. A lot of films I've seen the live action, but haven't seen the.
Oh my god.
I probably have when I was little. This is the thing, right? I've said this to loads of people. I remember we had videotapes, and then we moved houses, and in the moving our houses, we got rid of like videotapes. So I lost a lot of that when I was like 6 years old. So I have no
Right, okay.
recollection.
So you
but I've
probably
seen
watched
Aladdin
it.
live action. I saw Lion King live action before I could ever remember seeing the cartoons. And me and my friend were in the cinema. And when the dad got like pushed off, I went, oh, they haven't just killed the dad off. I was like, how are you like 20 at the time or something? Going, how did you not know that? Yeah, I was like, oh my god, they haven't just done that. Like, yeah.
I've not seen live action. Have
I
I?
haven't seen the
action.
live action Lion King, no.
Mm.
Ted's watching the cartoon one at the moment because he's going to the theatre, isn't he? And he's going
Yeah.
to see Lion King.
Is that today? Theatre?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Mum, I don't know what this Lion King's all about. I went, okay, sit down, watch it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, his dad died. His dad dies. But how? And he's
Yeah.
similar to you. He's like, but how is his dad dead?
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he's like, was he alive? I went, no, he's in the spirit world. trying to
get
explain
depth
that.
to it. Yeah.
Trying to explain that to a kid. And he's like, well, so he's in the clouds then? I went, yes.
Yes.
Right, so what got you into acting, Mia?
Big old question. I think I've always liked performing. My mum tells a story as well that when I was little, they done like a laughing policeman competition at the caravan. Yeah, and it was only meant for adults.
She
and
don't
then-
know what laughing policeman is. So you've done something that's older than her.
You don't know what Laughing Policeman is?
You never heard the story or the song?
You don't know Laughing Policeman? Oh, mad. Anyway,
Do you know
I've
the
done
lyrics?
that. No, I just do know the. We done it as like a what's it called? Your year 6 like closing show. We done it for that as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I've never heard.
So it's a song about a policeman who's jolly, isn't
and
it?
it goes all day long. I go and it's proper knee slapping. But the competition is you have to lip sync it basically with your hat on, dressed as a policeman, going for it.
No, never
So
heard of
that competition was for adults, and as a little kid, I was like, no, I'm doing it. So that was my first time
Did you win?
on stage. I think I did. Yeah, I think we won like a caravan weekend for like the year after or something like that. I'm pretty sure.
So then your parents just went, right, if we push her, let's see what else we can
What can we get out of her?
Yeah. But no, I've always loved like performing, and I think to whatever degree, like I think I just love like the art, the creative side of things. Like I do.
So did you study that at school and everything like that, and go through sort of GCSEs and A-levels?
Yeah. So my secondary school was Performing Arts College. To what degree that stayed to be Performing Arts College, did become an academy, but like that was my interest to go to that school initially, and then I wanted to do a college course just as acting, but I was told to, and maybe like my nerves of it, to go sixth form and get my A-levels. My A-levels were and then A for drama, so it was like, if that doesn't show you what I want to do. And then I'd done like applying for drama schools. I think I was like 18 at the time, and then I chose to do a like bridge course. So I got my level 4 diploma in performing arts at Miskin, which is in Dartford. It's really like
Miskin, yeah.
Miskin's like known, yeah. And then I went to university and got my BA honours in acting. But I think that's it.
Where'd you go for that?
Falmouth University.
I don't know.
Down in Cornwall.
Oh,
Cornwall,
really?
Yeah.
You went that far down, did you?
Yes, I did. All the way down to Cornwall. It was really nice. But I think like that, for me, like the age before, it was everyone was like, go drama school. You have to go to drama school, otherwise you're not making it. Whereas then being a year older, a year wiser, actually when I'd done the drama school auditions and I got accepted to places and stuff like that, I feel like drama school wanted you to go into this little not tiny box, but this is the mould that you need to fit in, walk forward. And I was like, whereas university felt like these are your different options.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who like more like individual. Drama school might have been like that once you got there, but just in the audition process it didn't feel like that, so that's why I went to
I suppose it then could open up different avenues for you if you wanted to go and do different things and you wanted to be on stage, or you wanted to do TV, or if you wanted to do something else.
That's if people like seek fame as sort of like the outcome. Actors are making a living doing sort of like medical role play. No one knows who they are.
We've had people saying we're trying to be famous on this thing.
Really? Oh my god, I couldn't think of anything worse. I don't want to
but you don't think about who's watching, do you? You go, I'll just
we're just doing
I just found it hilarious.
For the bit
fame seeking.
Just do it for the bands, don't we?
I'm really not fame seeking.
We do it for the banter and the sponsorship money. That's it.
Thank you, sponsors. Oh, bless. So, was there any memories that you sort of starting out quite young? What was the first thing that you actually starred in or acted in, or?
Starting at acting. So I used to do the summer, it was called the Summer Youth Project at the Orchard Theatre in Dartford. And my first one I think was Annie, and that was my like initial I think I was about 10 or 11, and that was doing like the big audition, the singing, the dancing and acting. At the time I would probably say that I was actor first, then dancer, then singer in terms of like for best to worst or whatever. But they never saw you acting first. They always wanted to, because it's musical, they always see you singing and dancing. So I'd get like ensemble, but I'm like, but it didn't matter because it was a musical. So yes, it made sense, like ensemble, but I was like little like vengeful little 10-year-old being like, oh, if you just saw my acting, I'll be the main person. Like but stuff like that. But now I'd probably say that I am like actor first, then singer, then dancer. Dancing more like passionate, like character choices to do something.
You were dancing in between scenes. I remember that. You just used to prance around, didn't you?
Yeah, and sing.
Just to keep going. The thing is, when it comes to filming a comedy or anything, it's not 80-90% sitting around, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't think people realise that. They think, if someone coming into acting thinks, I'm going to be acting all the time. You're not.
No, you're not.
And
I think his ability to keep your brain on as well, like to
Yeah.
stop yourself from switching off. And like I probably, if someone offers me a TV job, I'm taking the TV job. But I think I prefer theatre, that you do exist in that world for like an hour and a half,
Yes.
whereas at the TV,
Strips and
it's
bites.
like you've done this scene, cut,
Yes,
or
yeah.
this happened on like the end of the day, but we're going to film that first,
Yeah.
and like it's not
Yeah.
in chronological
I
order.
need
and
your
brain-
emotion for the end of this film.
Yeah, you've been
Yeah.
absolutely
And yet
like
your film-
broken-hearted.
yeah.
Not film the broken-hearted in it yet. It's like,
Yeah, that's it. You're
Yeah.
shooting at the end of the film on the first day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you need to, in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And sometimes there's a lot of flashbacks in films and things like that.
But
And locations. It's based on locations. You can get a batch of stuff like we did. You get a batch of stuff done in the location of the, where you are in the story.
Yeah.
But you found that out when you did your sitcom, didn't you? When
Yeah.
You filmed
Love your
that.
sitcom.
Do ya?
I love it.
Ah.
I was watching, sorry, you can talk about your film. No, like the, when he goes invisible.
Yeah.
I was watching, there's a film with like Melissa McCarthy in it, and they're like superheroes, and like the level of like invisibility they did in that film. And I was like, oh, I love that. It like showed up again that she's clearly like invisible, if that makes sense.
Right, okay.
Just like sort of like almost like a white sheet coming over her, but she's so it's funny watching her mess around with people, but you knew like as an actor watching that she is there. So I remember.
Oh, wicked. That's
Yeah.
good then.
I have to
I'm
watch
glad-
it.
I'm glad you like
But
it.
like it still like it felt like it was going to line up to the next episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that when.
I'll show you the very end if you want. I've only got the very end.
Oh, you said you film like the end. Oh, you know the ending and the beginning,
Well,
and then you fluff the
I
middle bit.
know an option for. Thanks for that.
No, that's what you said.
No, I've only ever. I
Yeah.
had to film the end
Yeah.
because it involved people that would be too old if I had left it.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I don't even know if I bother doing an episode 2. Really.
Yeah. Oh, but it felt like it was like lined up. For
Oh,
the
100%
next
lined up for a
episode.
next episode. But
Yeah.
it's if people want to, if companies want to take it on,
Yeah.
then it's there,
Yeah.
But now it probably have to be all shot again, I
Yeah.
imagine. All done again.
And recasted and have me in
Yeah.
it. That's all right.
Yeah, have you in it?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people now. But going back to but you knew from that when you had all the actors and you were really stressing, weren't you? Going, oh my God, they're just sitting around. But because they're used to it,
Yeah.
they didn't care, did they? They were like, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
And you
I-
were stressing.
I
in
didn't
your
think I
head,
was
didn't
stressing.
you?
I didn't think I was stressing about it. I thought I'd learnt that beforehand.
No, but sorry.
She's good at this. She does it. Honestly, it's more of a drum for her than a mic.
Sorry, and now I've broken it.
That'd
But
do.
in Dusty, you were like, well, I know this
It was
is normal.
Rob. Rob was stressing.
Yes,
People are waiting
yeah.
around. People are waiting around. I said,
Yeah, but
that's their life, Rob.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
normal.
So Robert Rivett's the writer of Dusty. He's a lovely guy, actually.
Yeah.
And and he was like, people are waiting around. People are waiting around. I said,
Yeah, but I think Rob's wifey for life, he had a very good. She was very good at feeding
Yes.
us,
She was our
giving us
feeder,
drink,
yeah.
and she
Yeah.
was very much like your.
Brilliant.
But you knew that you could go to her and be like, I need this, and then she'd be
Yeah.
like, cool, I'm getting it done.
Yeah.
and
yeah,
then-
no, she's
Yeah.
good like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
which I think was amazing.
But-
to have like,
A lot of actors,
Mhm.
not non-famous, let's say, well, I wouldn't say successful. Everyone's
Working.
successful, but they've got other jobs,
yeah,
and they take a
muggle
laptop
jobs.
with them.
yeah,
Yes, the muggle
jobs.
stuff.
Yeah.
Take a laptop with them and do that until they're called to do their
Yeah.
lines.
Because
I
we
just
had
did a bit.
in your one, we had a guy. He'd obviously done the shooting the night before. I think he said he was doing
Yeah.
it late.
This is Alex.
Turned up to your thing and then just slept, like passed
slept.
out on the sofa.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Is he all right?" And he went, "Oh yeah, sorry, I was filming last
Yeah.
night." And then got up, did his bit, went back to
just-
sleep.
That's what I did, didn't
Yeah.
I? I was.
You was asleep for a bit, weren't you?
Yeah, so in the daytime I was shooting Dusty, and then in the evening I was going up to
You
London.
slept for a bit, weren't you?
Yeah, so
Summer? What was the show?
It's called Pornography. So I'm take breath before I say that. It's called Pornography. That's what it's called. But it's about the 7/7 bombings that happened.
Oh right, Rachel was
I was in
in
Aldgate.
London when it happened.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
so that the bits about it goes into like Aldgate and it's a really good play.
Why is it called Pornography?
So my understanding of it, I think it's grotesque and in your face, and it's like no one wants to look at pornography in a public setting, like sort of
Right.
that idea of it is something you don't want to look at, but you have to,
Right,
like
okay.
that kind of idea. So watching that bomb go off and the carnage of that, it's like that's
Okay.
grotesque and sort of. So I think
Yeah.
that's the intention of it.
But then
You
I
want
suppose-
Don't quote
to,
me
you
on
want to look, but you
Yeah, you
don't
sort of
wanna
want to,
look,
yeah. You're intrigued,
Sensation,
but
yeah.
But it was all over the media as well, and you couldn't help but watch it, could
Yeah.
you? So I suppose it's that side of it as well.
Yeah.
You know, like it is put in your face, therefore you can't turn away from it. You
Yeah.
have to see it. And nowadays, obviously,
And I think like the scenes we did, the scenes in it.
You're so sideways. You drive me nuts. You're so sideways. Just glance over at her and talk down that mic. Oh, every time. Episode 50 or something now. And she's still
I'm having a chat.
Yeah, but that mic picks up Mia more than it is you. There we go. Oh, sorry, everyone.
Yeah, the scenes in it are a bit like icky. So my character gets like, well, there's no light way of putting it. She gets molested by her teacher.
Oh my god!
Like her former university teacher, and she's basically becomes a teacher herself, and she's having a chat, and he takes their meeting as like a date, and he's like, well, no, you've invited me on a date. And she's like, no, I haven't. I've invited you to talk about like what life's like being a teacher. There's a brother and sister that are like in love and all that. So it is.
Oh my god!
I think
it's deep.
Yeah, but like that's why it's got a bit of a, and somewhere in it it's about the 7/7 bombing. So
Somewhere in it.
I didn't
Can you hear that? There's a bomb gone off.
Yeah, but there's like an implication of their lives after that bombing. So my character who like probably she ends up staying the night at the teacher's house, just literally a place to stay because it gets late. He obviously reads into it and whatever. But I think the impliedness is had she gone home the night before, she wouldn't have been involved in the bombing.
Right, okay.
The brother and sister, the brother's gone for a little while. When they come back, she's screaming at him, going, "I thought you were dead." Blah 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 blah.
So it's like a bit like sliding doors, almost like the whole what happens if this had happened.
Had this or not, So obviously it's like theatre, so there's a bit of a like carnage to it and grotesque. I feel like when you read a play, you're like, or when I watch a film, I'm like that. I know that so stemmed from a play because of the twistiness of it.
Do you like opera?
Don't dislike it, but I
That's
can't
a
say I've
random
ever seen it.
Oh, right.
Why do you not opera singer?
Well, no. No, I don't. No, we decided to try. I love Phantom of the Opera. I love all that stuff.
And it was on my bucket
But they're
list.
more shows than operas, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know? But she said, "Let's go and see an opera. I've seen the ballet and all that. Let's go and see an opera." So I said, "All right." Did I get you it?
Yes, for
I've got
Christmas.
a
for my
Valkyrie.
birthday.
You heard of Valkyrie? No.
No, I don't think I have.
It's a famous opera,
Right.
and we're just not wired
We're
up
not
right for
Up
operas.
for people.
We laughing.
It's just
I looked
so
at it.
long.
I looked at the tickets
Yeah.
and I said to Simon, I think they've made a mistake here. It
Yeah.
says running time 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I went, that's not right. Googled it, did all my research, and went, oh my god,
What time
it's
does it start?
something like 5:30 in
Oh,
the
okay.
afternoon.
4 breaks, 4 half-hour
Yeah.
breaks.
And you have like tokens, and
You
they give you
leave.
tokens. You can leave and go to the pub and come back. You can go and have dinner and come
Yeah.
back. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
I don't want to disrespect, right? But it was shocking.
It might not be your
It
cup
just
of
wasn't
tea.
my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And they were just dressed normally,
Yeah.
like in tracksuit bottoms. It's like a school play.
Okay.
And like on the first interval, before the first interval, they're just running around in circles on the stage,
Yeah.
right? And then they just run off all theatrically.
Yeah.
sort of. And people are going, "Oh, they've nailed that.
Yeah.
They've nailed that." I'm like, what the
What have
f-
they
what's
nailed?
saying?
Yeah.
But we did have a lunch. We did have lunch before. We did have a drink, so we
I
might
was
be
falling
like,
asleep the first quarter. So
I do sometimes think you do watch plays or like, and you have to go get to the end of it, especially if your friend's in it or something like that. You're like, yeah, the staging was really good.
Yeah, well,
oh,
this-
you know, like that bit in Friends where they say,
Valkyrie is a house,
Yeah.
but based on and there's a massive house you can
And a
see.
tree.
You see the
Yeah.
levels of the house.
Okay.
A tree going through the house, some
Yeah.
bizarre way. But this house gets turned. It gets turned by people wearing
You know-
hoodies,
you know, like stage
black,
hands.
dressed in black, wearing hoodies.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
grab each corner.
Yeah.
They look like demons, but rank demons.
But they're
like
in the
they've-
play,
like
though.
the costumes been got from Primark type
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
And they go to every corner and just turn the house slightly, and then
Yeah.
another scene happens in a different
Yeah.
part of the house.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they turn it again.
Yeah.
And I can handle that. But it just was. I just
But if
wasn't
you
getting
pointed it out to yourself, it shatters, doesn't it? And every time that happens, you're like, I've done that again.
Well-
You moved it again. Like,
It's more of a, if they're going to do that and they're in the play, by all means, make them a part of the play.
Yeah.
Don't just make them stage hands
like
that run on.
Hamilton-ness going like that, moving the chairs.
It was weird. It was just strange.
Yeah.
But I couldn't
we
even tell
clearly
you the
wasn't-
story though.
Our
Could you?
brains clearly weren't engaged
Was
for
it all singing? So there's no like.
All singing.
All singing.
But one positive thing, there's subtitles. You
Yeah,
love
there's
it.
there's a
Nice.
bar at the top, like
Yeah.
literally, if you're watching that, there's a bar at the
Above
top,
the
and
stage
it's got the subtitles
with
for
what's
you,
being
so
said.
you know what being sung.
Sung, yeah.
But the
I went to see
acting-wise,
a musical in Korea, and they literally had like subtitles, and watching that, I was so into it. I loved it, and like the boys that I was
So they
with,
had English subtitles for you?
yeah,
Wicked.
but the boys at the back were like, what have they made us come to? Falling asleep, and I'm there like, yeah, go on, because it was a musical about a taekwondo high school.
All right.
And like how they like they were going to get their taekwondo thing was going to get cut if they didn't win this competition. So all that in a musical element, and the kicks and all that at the end, it was very cool. But yeah, the whole time I was like, I love this. Like, you don't even know what they're saying. It's like, read the subtitles. And you just had,
and then like, quick.
there is a bit in it, or was a bit in it that just it wouldn't pass in England, like because how politically correct we are and all stuff like that. That it was like a Korean man had come on stage, but he had like blonde hair, he obviously had like some blue contacts in, a bit of like a white face makeup, and he was like, and I'm Italian, and he was like, all about pizza and going like, I love taekwondo so much, but I also love spaghetti and meatballs and pizza. And they're like, I'm like, if you'd done that in England, like someone
shot.
like a football school, and then they've like, oh yeah, just masked over a different like culture and come. I was like, I wouldn't hold up at all. But yeah, everyone was watching that with like jaws like.
So what were you in Korea for? Studies or?
No, that's for the jamboree.
Oh,
World
yes,
Scout
'cause,
Jamboree.
yes, you're a scout leader.
Yeah.
Is there any brownies anymore?
Yes.
Yeah, brownies.
Did you ever do brownies?
No.
So you went straight to scouts?
I've always been a beaver cub. Yeah. So I've got an older brother, and my brother's 2 years older than me, and he started beavers at the beaver age, about 6 or whatever. So then I've known the people in my life now for about 21 years.
Yeah, see, the weird
Grown
thing
up
is,
knowing
because
them.
I'm an old sod,
Mhm.
Cubs only used to be for boys at
Boys,
one point.
yeah.
I can't remember when it changed over 90s, I think.
Yeah, I think
Around
so.
the 90s, the girls could come in.
Yeah.
Can boys go to brownies?
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And they say it's a man's world, right?
I've had these, like, not, I wouldn't say heated conversations, but like these discussions before that, yeah, brownies and guides are girls, and then scouts has been mixed and mingled. But it's like the existing of maybe like there still needs to be a safe space for, not saying there's not a safe space for men, but there needs to be a safe space for women still for it to be purely girls.
That's true.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 Because then you do go, the boys go,
Yeah.
oh, where's our lads thing? It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, though. The boys ain't going to want to go brownies. You don't get many boys say, I want
well,
to
it's
go
depends,
brownies.
like, because you get people that identify different now, don't you? So
Yeah,
they
I
might,
know.
for that purpose.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from.
Where it
but-
comes, yeah. But cubs, I don't think there's a major difference between actually like the cubs and the brownies, or like the guides could go to the World Scout Jamboree. How I went.
That's
to the
what I
World
was going to
Scout
say. So
Jamboree.
could you go
Yeah.
to the girls
Yeah.
can go to the Jamboree as
Yeah.
well.
So
it's
you had
just
girl
literally-
guides at KIJ as well.
Oh,
the
did we? I don't know.
Jamboree.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I was kept
So it's
100 metres
quite-
away from
it's-
everyone.
They exist in their different realms, but
Yeah.
they are quite mixed and mingled, and
Yeah.
like POR and all like the rules are probably like very similar.
Yeah, so like we said, we thought we had met a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
but actually I
Your
played
paths
music
have
for you
crossed.
Yeah, isn't it?
at a cabaret.
Cabaret.
Yeah, at the Kent International
Jamboree.
Jamboree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that's mad, like worlds across, small world,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like,
Well,
yeah.
we always talk, don't we? Like, how many times
we?
have we passed each other in the shopping centre?
Mm.
Or has she
Oh,
dropped a toy and I've picked it up because she's 12 years younger than me? Do you know what I mean? She could have dropped a toy and I'd gone, here you go. And then married her. How weird is that?
You're sick.
Well, you could have been like Santa on you, and she sat on your knee. And then...
That's only happened in recent years.
No.
Right, so it's been a part of your life, Cubs.
Yeah,
Scouts.
yeah,
Yeah, there was no Cubs for you, was there?
Yeah.
Or was there?
yeah. I've done...
Was it a 10, isn't it? Cubs, and then goes to Scouts.
What, the
Is
age?
that right?
Or...
Age 10?
Yeah, so Cubs is... I'm going to get this wrong. Beavers is 6 to 8. Cubs is 8 to 10 and a half. 10 and a half to 14 is Scouts. 14 to 18 is Explorers. And then 18 to 25 is Network. So I'm sitting in the network age at the minute.
And you're a leader now.
Yes.
Do you know leaders all other leaders in the area?
Yeah.
I know another leader near here.
Mhm.
That, if only I can get my words out properly. Darren Hobson. You know Darren Hobson. There you go.
I'm definitely more of a face person. So if you show me a picture of their face, I might go, but names I'm not.
I know. Sally is as well, isn't she?
Oh, Sally, yeah. You
Sally,
might know
yeah.
Sally.
Sally Gollop.
Sally Gollop.
Show me face.
Yeah.
Show me the face.
I am
Show
a
me the
face
face.
person.
Okay, we'll get their faces out for you later.
That sounds weird.
Yeah. Okay, what else were we going to say?
Going back to your acting.
Acting.
Okay, so is there any role that you have done that you've really enjoyed, or is there any role that you think, God, I really don't want to do that again? Or
Mary Rose.
No, I love Mary Rose. I did love Mary. Like I've wrote. I know, like this is like it's Rob's show, so he's never going to see it. But I've wrote stuff for Mary Rose. I just loved her so much. Like and like the relation. I think the dynamic's very good between like the boys and me.
So what have you wrote? Prequel?
No, just like
wrote on.
character? Yeah.
That's really sweet. It's a sweet thing
Well,
to
I
do.
could see
You
where.
should tell him.
Yeah, but it's Rob's show, isn't it? But
He might add it to it.
yeah. I think, I don't know, it's more like that probably made like Mary Rose the main character for that episode. So if it was wrote by me, it's like, oh, Mary Rose is the
Yeah,
lead
but you
of
get
the
that these
episode.
days, don't you?
Yeah.
You get that in a lot of episodes, especially American episodes. They get a dedicated
Yeah,
an episode for each character.
yeah.
Used to happen in Lost, didn't it? It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Lost?
No.
She's
I
like,
can
yeah,
tell.
yeah.
You went. You said yeah, and then this little bit
Because
inside your
I
mouth.
know bits that are like, there's a polar bear in the woods, but they're on an
Oh
island.
mate,
and
it's
stuff
mental.
like that.
It's so mental that they
Yeah.
couldn't
Finish it.
couldn't
Get it
finish
back
it.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the best acting those actors ever did, and they were good actors anyway, the best acting they ever did was sell the last season.
Yeah.
To promote the last season. Because the last season was shocking.
People say that about last season, don't they?
Well,
Like the ending.
It was so out of this world and bizarre
Yeah.
that you would never be able to bring it back to reality.
Yeah.
And what they tried to do was bring it back to reality. And there's
Yeah.
they've gone so far
Yeah.
off the scale that there was no way of bringing it back.
Yeah.
No way at all. No way of explaining it.
See,
is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
my favourite sitcom or like show is How I Met Your Mother, and people say about that.
Ah,
It's my favourite. I've got a yellow umbrella and everything.
Yeah, because they dragged it out too long, and then the last episode was just literally the last season, the last few episodes
Bass player, Mum.
was basically How We Met Her, and that was it. So the whole
Yeah.
series was just on something, and then the last few episodes was actually How We Met Her, and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but then the comeback round of this is why we've been telling us the story for so long. I loved that.
How about Friends?
No.
Have you?
Friends.
You've
See, I've tried
You've never seen Friends.
No, I probably have.
Rachel's come out in hives.
So the thing is, again, because How I Met Your Mother is what I've watched, I've then watched Friends when I was doing like my revision or whatever, and have friends on the background go, oh, that's like a How I Met Your Mother episode. So then, but I understand that Friends came first, so it's more like they nicked that off Friends. Like, it's that kind of vibe.
You watch everything,
Yeah,
with lots of episodes. There's got to be.
Some link.
There's so many. Look at The Simpsons. Do you know what I mean? How many episodes that had? That came out in 89, I think.
Yeah.
89, and that has how many episodes? Thousands.
Yeah.
It's got to go over. It's got to overlap something else. Different people, same storyline. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But don't they say every movie there's about 6 different storylines?
Yeah.
Well, you've got to
every
have
single movie.
inspiration. You like these people, these
You
directors.
studied that as well at uni.
Yeah, there's 6
Not
different
like
structures, I believe.
Yeah.
And you can't really go off of those 6 structures.
Like the
like storylines.
Yeah.
Or
So you have a
plot
start, problem, end, and that's like the lineage.
And the
of how it
problem
runs,
can
isn't it?
come back and go solved, come back, solved, come back, get worse.
Yeah.
End.
But yeah, you've got the kind of like boy meets girl, and that's one way of it, and there's loads of variations I won't remember, but
But I do like good films that actually don't like boy meets girl and then boy dies. I'm like, yes, something, spice it up a little bit. You know?
Well, Game of Thrones did it, didn't they?
Yes.
By killing off main characters.
Yes, and I loved Game
Spoilers.
of Thrones for that.
Never seen Game.
Oh my god. It's all right. I like Game of Thrones.
We
but
need to give her a bucket list.
I can live without it. Yeah, it was all
liked
right.
Again,
it was good.
The last season, it went too far.
Yeah.
It got too big for its boots. And then it was sort of like, okay, we need to draw this to a close and we don't know where we're going with it, I think. But yeah, I mean, I know what episode you're talking about.
Like, maybe episode 4, something like that, they kill off. No, season 1, episode 4, they kill off the main character, the well-known, like Sean Bean, isn't it?
Yeah.
They kill off Sean Bean.
Yeah.
And everyone's like,
Have you seen The Gentleman? Sorry, that's the distraction.
Yes, The Gentleman, yeah.
Love it.
Have I?
It's just come out. It's like
Netflix.
No.
have I seen it?
Yes.
Have I?
The one with
It's
Ray,
got the chicken in it. and
Ray
it's like-
Winston, Vinnie
loved
Jones.
it. Yes, loved it.
That well.
God, I'm
You have
terrible with
to- you
names.
have to
Honestly,
just
you've got to remind me of shit that's going on. Sorry, you told me not to be rude. Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that
it's
one.
very good.
Yeah.
But he's a good director anyway, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a good I've always rated Vinnie Jones as an actor personally.
Yeah.
And he wasn't that much of a hard man this time either.
No.
Sort of took a back step, didn't he? He was sort
But I
of
think
just
that
in the
will come out
background
in
and
seasons to come. Well, my mum said this. She was like, he's putting himself out as like a garden keeper and then suddenly found a load of guns and grenades. Like, I think something's going to come of this.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So yeah, anyway, going back to the original question. Yeah.
What
We've
was the
just gone
question?
boom and then
What
gone
role?
on. Yeah, your roles, like your favourite type. Is there anything that you would be drawn to if you were looking through? I mean, how do you get them? Do you look online or anything like that? And you just
Yeah. Sorry. Because it was weird how you got the Dusty role, wasn't it? That was all last minute, wasn't it?
Yeah. Let me answer this.
Yeah. I don't answer us, answer mine.
So in terms of like actor getting jobs, so at the minute I was with an agent and then I left my agent, so now I'm self-repping for the moment. So because I got my diploma at uni, that means I'm accredited to go on Spotlight. And Spotlight's sort of I don't want to call it the gatekeeper, but the top dog of where you find your acting stuff. So I go on there, run through my list, click sort of every day, apply, send off my headshot, CV, showreel, which you know the edited.
Oh, bless.
That's in there.
I just stuck everything together that you were in.
I think it's very helpful. When I got it, I was like, yes. So that goes off, and then there's variations. So you've got like Mandy and Star now, which I think things come with it. But
Mandy and Star now are literally the same, aren't they?
Yeah, basically like Mandy, Star now, and backstage. But like Spotlight is like top dog. Like when people are like, I don't know, Tom Hiddleston got a role, he got it off Spotlight. His agent going through Spotlight kind of thing. But I've got access to all them, and that's how I apply for jobs. Roles that I've got to the end of the days of shoots and been able to say, I'm glad I got paid for it.
all right.
So I think there's good in that to like have a bad job because people like fantasize acting or like it's amazing.
Every job has a bad bit.
Yeah, whereas actually like I do get to the end of the day and go, I'm glad I got paid for that. So, and I've never seen like the outcomes of those films I've been in. Like,
are there things you're drawn to? Like if you're scrolling through and they say we need this person, you're like, oh, perfect. I know I've done this before. I'm really good at this. I can do a good job on this. You know, is there certain roles that you play that you think actually I love this role? I can do this well.
I don't know. Not a no, but I think, and I don't think I'm going to say you need to lie. Not need to lie, rude. But not need to lie, but you need to have belief that if it's like we need someone that's did this, and this, or have got this, and this talent, you sort of have to go, I might not have that to 100%, but sod it, let's put myself forward and they can decide whether my talent is what they're... So I think you've kind of got to believe, not lie, believe in yourself to go, okay, I'll do that. My ideal role that I would always love to play is to do like a biopic. Like I'd love to do something with someone that already exists.
Who would you play?
I don't know. Someone that I look like someone else.
What does she look like?
But yeah.
She's got a little bit of Drew Barrymore about her. A tiny little bit of Drew Barrymore about her.
Yeah, I see that.
I say that.
Yeah.
Put on the American accent.
It's going to be hard for you to do
Barrymore.
it's going to be hard for you to do the ET bit. She's about 6, you know. Put shoes on your knees.
Exactly. But yeah, I think a biopic, like there's an act. Have you seen the like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where it's a documentary about the man that cheated?
Yeah, that was
that actor
that
does like who plays the man that cheated. He's in so much like biopic stuff, and I really love it. But I think the amount of data and information you can get from someone that's already alive just helps you to flesh out a character so much. And like you watch, it fascinates me. Like even with like The Crown, like the Princess Diana interview. Sort of
Didn't
when
Diana look amazing?
Yeah, that actress
acted perfectly.
And
the voice, everything. She got it spot on.
She was spot on with Diana. She really was.
I love. People don't like watching things with me because I go, oh, that actress. She was in like The Great Gatsby. She's just been. She was in the.
She's like that.
Guardians of the Galaxy. She was a gold woman in that. Like,
well, if you go watch on Amazon now, and if you hover over the screen, it tells you who's actually on the screen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You did try with
it doesn't
Dusty,
work. Doesn't
no. Oh no, your one. Sorry, didn't you?
It doesn't work with Tab Theory. Nah. It doesn't tell you who's on the screen of the Tab Theory.
This is a bit different. Does your name come up on Google?
It does.
It does.
You've got to Google.
My boyfriend's got to a point now where he's got some like IMDb's. He'll go, who is Matthew Stephen James? He goes, Matthew Stephen James is an actor.
He does that all the time.
And I'm like, okay. But he said it's probably because he said it so many times that the Google knows to say it back
If you
to
do
him.
it on Amazon Prime, it says Simon Burridge, the director, known for the Tab Theory.
Yeah.
But Tilly does it as well, because
Yeah.
Tilly obviously had a little bit in that, and she's had a bit in Dusty as well. And it says the same for her. She's like, yeah.
The little ego boost,
And then,
isn't it, that?
and then she told her friends that her and her friends at school were doing like 2 lies and a truth.
Yeah.
And she told 2 lies and then said this about, and she said, oh, I'm actually an actress and I'm on IMBD. And they were like, no, you're not. That's a lie. That's a lie. And she went, boom, really am. And she loved it. She absolutely loved it.
Is it IMBD or IMDb?
She's probably got it wrong, mate.
IMDb.
It's
Internet
it's
movie
another mug.
database. Yeah,
I'm making another mug. Look, don't do as I do as I don't do. Do you think she's got IMDb right?
No. Oh, I've just felt it all over me.
IMDb, something database.
Internet movie database.
Internet movie database, yeah.
Dusty on there.
Dusty is on there, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. So you're on there with Dusty?
Yeah.
Have you got your own pro account?
No.
No picture then?
No.
I used to have a pro account, put my
Did you?
details in and then just moved it back.
What mugshot did you have? Like
I don't know what I used for it. No, I can't remember what I
It
used for
depends.
it.
Like I'd like to act in or whatever. It depends on like your investment of things. So at the minute, I've got a website and I pay for like
The
the
domain?
rights or the domain for my website. But it's actually like, do I get rid of the website and put that money into an IMDb to like? It's all.
Yeah.
I was having them. Like, it's a lot of business conversations, which I think it is. Like people are like, I'm on stage and I'm glamorous and I'm TV, and it's like no, you have
and
to
you need
do
someone
a
to.
lot of business. You're basically running a business. You
Yeah.
are your own business.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's you got to have a business.
So how did you find the role for Dusty then? Going back to
Oh,
Simon's
how
question.
did I like literally find it? So I was sat doing my rehearsals for pornography. I'd chucked myself onto.
What?
I just hope no one jumps in halfway through. I was sat doing my rehearsals for pornography.
Yeah, the show.
That's what I want about.
Skip ahead. I do wish it had like I think it's Simon Stevens. I'm doing my play by Simon Stevens. So anyway, I'd thrown myself onto loads of like because I was just out of university then, and thrown myself on loads of like Facebook acting sites, and Dusty came up, and I read the little like bio of it, and it said I'm gonna misquote him what he said, but it was like blonde hair, blue eyes, one of them bodies, like not afraid to be a bit booby or something like that. And I read it and I went, yeah. All right, fair.
Yeah, it sounds a bit
but
like
then,
Rob, doesn't it?
because I had because I was doing the play and I saw the dates of it, and it was like the next week, I was like, oh, I scrolled ahead, and then my friend, I'm doing something with him at the moment as well, he said, oh no, I've heard about that. He'd put it in the paper or something. He got around. He's like, you've got to, go for it. And then Azina, my other friend that I know, had a like friendship with Rob's daughter, stepdaughter.
Right.
Oh, right.
And said like, oh no, I know the dad that like, or stepdad, go for it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I really was like in a mindset of like, oh, I'm going to push my weight because I have seizures. So I was like, maybe that's too much for me to do.
Seizures? You have seizures?
Yeah, I get stress-induced seizures.
Oh my!
So it happens through exhaustion.
Did it happen on the shoot one day?
No, that was from the cat. There was two. I couldn't breathe with the cat, but I had to go upstairs in the house.
That's right. I remember
Yeah.
something happening.
Yeah. So that was because that was asthma. But yeah, no. So it was like at the end, I had burnt myself. So I've got a lot better at knowing when to like not burn myself out. So at the end of that, doing both of them things, I obviously did have a bit of a sleepless, like needed. I had seizure, or whatever.
Can I go back to the seizure bit?
Yes.
What happens when you have a seizure? Are you having a proper?
Sorry to do it now.
I'm worried about it.
No, so it's non-epileptic. So
Right.
it's basically, to put it in layman's terms, basic terms, essentially there's nothing wrong with me. It is literally like a physical panic attack. To like
Okay.
put it in like a basic thing, I just go into panic mode. So my body knows
almost
it needs to shut
shut
down
down.
and protect itself.
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
does, I do that because that's probably what I do in it. But so yeah, I've almost
Okay.
been a year without one now. So
Good.
yeah,
Good.
I used to have them sort of like monthly or twice a month. and
Can you
now it's like,
drive?
Wow.
no. Yes. Yeah.
You have a driving,
No, I don't have a driving license,
but you're allowed
But
to
you
drive
can
with
drive
that.
still with it.
but I can. Yeah, it's just sort of when I had them more regularly, it was like an advice not to.
Right.
At the minute, I am learning to drive, and it, like
Okay.
again, like it's to me, it feels like a thing of the past. Like how
Right.
I am I know it's not even
You
been
know
a
how
year
to
yet, but
control
how
it.
I am mentally now is not how I was mentally then. So it's like hopefully they don't come back round again.
So would you say it was down to nerves as well? Was nerves?
It's all a part.
It's all a bit of everything.
stress.
Yeah, as you get older, you get, a bit more used to it and stuff.
Yeah.
So how do you then prepare for auditions and stuff like that then? If you've got auditions coming up and you think, I've got to, how do you mentally prepare for that then?
So I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
Just like rehearse, basically. Just
So
like
they
Are you
give
good with lines?
no. Yes.
Make your mind up.
No, yes. I'm better now. So with Dusty having a week's notice for that, I have to run a line.
Yeah.
Like, for example, sat next to Reese went, right, go. I'm like, Reese, you can't just pick it up that quickly, but he's got a photographic memory or something like that.
I'm a nightmare.
Yeah.
Even when I acted in Tab Theory,
there's
a bit where we're coming out of a toilet. When I'm going, that word over there is like a scout.
Yeah.
I was reading the line inside the door, and then coming out of it, and then by the time my head had gone from there to the actor, I'd forgotten it again. There was so many takes. I'm a nightmare, and I wrote the bloody thing.
Yeah, well, Rob wrote his, didn't he?
Yeah.
Me and Reese would look at each other like, okay, we'll go in there. We'll skip that chunk. That don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, but I do think that's why, like, the three of us, we kept in the moment.
You've got to keep it natural,
Reese
though.
is like an improvisation, like, king. We had because I've met up with Reese quite a couple of times afterwards. I'm like, how do you just decide that you're going to do that? He went, I don't. I just trust that I'm going to
go with it.
Because I feel like if I'd done something, you'd tell me up and go, all right,
not at all.
We've got to do that again, Mia, because you've done that way. Like,
the only thing is,
Reese would do like a spit take, and then he'd have to do it again.
It is nice to have a couple of takes that have got the same lines in. Because if I need to chop them around a bit, or I'm changing the angle or something like that, it would help if the dialogue actually made sense.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit hard, but I'm always keen to have that happen. Natural line.
Yeah. But then you get natural reactions from people as well. So if you're
it was normally me laughing. Like,
I see the lines as a guide more than anything. Don't stick to them.
Yeah.
But when we have decided what we're going to say, let's stick to that.
Yeah, which is
what
I mean? You said.
that last day, that was the only day.
Was I losing my shit?
No, you have a sternness about you where you go, right, we're going to do that again.
there's sort of calm Simon, right, we need to do this, and then calm Simon, right, we need to do this.
Yeah. But I do think you do need, like, I have done things where people are like, and go, and you're like, but you haven't actually directed or told me to do anything. Yet you want me to create this world around you, but you haven't told me what that world is. I've got the lines on the paper.
I'd love to just sit back and just direct, but when you're shooting it as well, I'm thinking about white balance lighting, I'm thinking about the sun coming out, I'm thinking about the sound.
Or sun not
so
coming out
I've never been fully,
Rain,
and we've gone for a really
still got best director, and I was 20% directing.
and acting and
shooting. Load of rubbish. Oh, sorry. I would love to just be able to direct, because then I'd give more instruction.
I think I like directing. I really do. Yeah. I would love to direct something as well.
Well, you've clearly written stuff.
Yes.
So we'll have a look at it. What would you like the most? What have you written, and what do you want to tell me after, or do you want to?
No, I'll tell you now.
Well, then, what have
I continue to write scenes that, like, whether that exists in a Dusty world or Rob's going to know that I've ripped him off, but like it's two males and a female and like their dynamic. I think because like Rob,
you can't just say Dusty's fault of two males and a female.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? That's been used everywhere. So
no, but I like the idea of like how he's brought it to like a community centre and like or like a therapy thing, and I like that. That's like the base of where scenes start from. That like I wrote the boss that's always checking her watch. I wrote something for her. That she's come up with this scheme of the day or whatever, and then it's developed from there. So I do like the characters that Rob has created. I know that's not like, but pending from Rob.
I think my favourite scene about all of that was when the counselling scene.
Yeah.
And you met all those different characters and how he reacted with them.
Yeah.
And he's clearly so shit at his job. And he's just sitting there going, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'll just write it down.
That's what I think the heart and the hub is that. So Rob might have a whole different idea. Rob told me some of the stuff that was going to happen, and we've all got like backstories that haven't come out yet. But whereas I'd bring it to the community, so like we'd go different approaches.
Yeah,
I think that's the challenge we had. I didn't really have a challenge with Rob, but I had to say no. The problem was I knew what he was trying to do.
Yeah,
he was trying to get every character out on the first episode because he's only got one episode to get them all out on. But sometimes you just got to give up and lose some characters.
Yeah.
And just settle with 4 or 5
Mention.
characters
Yeah.
rather than trying to get everyone introduced in
Yeah.
the first.
Have
30
have
minutes, the first
names,
episode.
mention names, and then obviously you can then come back and say,
Yeah.
and then it would obviously link back to the
Yeah.
first episode.
It
but
would have
obviously you
been
don't need
fine.
Physical characters
Yeah.
as such.
If he had a full season, it would have been fine to do what he did. But you don't. You've just got one window of
Yeah.
opportunity, and sometimes you just need to.
Well, like the first scene could really exist in like the fact that they've just got him from prison. We didn't need to go. Well, like we did, but you know what I mean. The next episode could be, I've got to go to work now, or like the
You
next
could break it,
morning
yeah.
it could go like a week. Like you know
You
what I
could,
mean.
you could have,
Yeah.
you could break it down.
He
and
originally
just
wrote
have,
it. He originally wrote it going to work first,
Yeah.
and he was late, and she was making him hold up.
Yeah.
So and I edited the version like that, how he originally wrote it,
Yeah.
and you guys weren't even at the work.
Yeah.
You weren't even at the work.
Yeah.
Where you weren't even involved in that
Yeah.
couple's conversation
I
or
love that
anything.
we're in it though.
Yeah, it's good.
But I
it-
do like the
well,
carnage
the
of
thing
like
is, the
Rob's
weird-
trying to keep his lives into boxes.
Yeah, and then you guys are like just
me and Ruth are like, no.
Yeah, that's what I love about editing though. I
Yeah.
could change the whole story of that with
Yeah.
the footage I've got.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Power of editing is amazing. Really, the world's run by editors, basically. It is.
Mhm.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
But
No.
you could
No.
Like the other thing I wrote.
But you could have that first episode. It's just you three. You
Yeah.
three as a standalone episode would work even just as well. I think.
Yeah,
So-
but you can always think about it. Like, I remember what's Reese's character's name?
Simon. What's Reese's character?
What's Reese's character's name?
Mike.
Mike.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Oh, I know the stuff.
But like Mike doesn't need to be release the first episode. You know what I mean? Mike could be in prison. You could meet me, and we're having that chat back and forth, and There's so much you could long it out, but again, it's you've got one shot to show you stuff.
You've got to get to the point in half hour,
yeah,
basically.
and it's
Yeah.
hard.
So
But you do
You know.
like again, you watch things and like Netflix, and you're like, oh, you would have dragged this out. They could have cut that down. That
Oh,
didn't need to be a whole
massively.
season of like it's the other way around, isn't it? That
yeah,
Because
that could have been summed up in an episode.
I can't remember what I watched on Netflix the other day, but it was something new that came out. And I was literally like, where is this actually going? And it was just the most random show. And it was broken down into about 8 different episodes. I was like, I have no idea where this is going. And then there wasn't an end. And it really
Yeah.
frustrated me. I was like,
Yeah.
tell me what's happening, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can completely get that.
Yeah.
So what projects have you got coming up then? What new projects have you got coming up? Or
So-
in the works? Or
So at the moment, I'm part of a online drama, not drama school, like acting school. It's run by Charlie Brooks. You know
Oh,
Charlie
yeah,
Brooks,
yeah.
Janine from EastEnders.
Yep.
So it's her like company with her brother as well, Ben, and so that's sort of like weekly. So much. It's like a catalogue of all different things, and I think it's an amazing community that they have. Sponsor.
so where's she
I've-
run
I've
that?
seen that.
What's
It's all
the
online.
location?
It's all
Yeah.
online.
Oh, it's all online.
Yeah.
Okay.
So getting to my point, they have an in-person day, which they do like once or twice a year. So at the minute, I am working with Connor, and Connor was the terrorist in pornography and the one that told me to go for the job for Dusty.
Right, okay.
I think he's an amazing actor, and I think he's going to go places. So we're going to shoot and film and enter their duologue competition. So that's yesterday. I just spent the whole day, and that's why I sort of ummed and ahed about learning lines, because that is something I've revisited. So I did do that as my showcase at uni, and just found a scene, revisited it, and went, okay, let's do this scene. And we filmed that on Monday, and as of yesterday, like I know the lines, and I was so proud of myself that I was like, can pick up lines very quickly. So that at the moment, and then it is just a case of keeping yourself busy. It's hard with projects lining up. So obviously I've just got back from Poland doing my Explorer belt, so I had to see that certain film dates. I was like, oh, I can't make that film date. I want to achieve like my gold Duke of Edinburgh, so I can't film in August, because I'm just, that's what I'm choosing to prioritise. I'm choosing to prioritise other things. So it's a few and a far between. Well, I think you just need to take that as a reality. So some jobs are just few and far between, but it's what are you choosing to prioritise.
Yeah, if you're
absolutely.
going-
I'm keeping myself busy I'm keeping myself in the world by script writing
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm potentially going to be in a play soon as sort of like an additional character, so not a main character, but I've been asked if I'd be like a don't want to call it a filler character, but like a supporting role. So I have stuff, and it is like the wheels turning and stuff like that. But to be like, oh, I've got this film coming out, blah, 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 it's not necessarily that. I think it's just reality. You are just, as an actor, you've got to keep yourself busy. I'm spinning a load
You're
of...
99% of actors. There's only a 1% that, you know, film, isn't there? So, yeah.
So spinning a lot of, like, play. It is, like, behind the scenes. So, like, what are you doing at the minute? There's not, like, an end product. I'm like, I know I'm having conversations with agents. I know that I'm applying to do, like, drama workshops, for example. But, yeah.
It's being a cub leader. Scout leader.
I am a cub leader.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that voluntary? All voluntary?
Voluntary. If that was paid, that would be my job.
Yeah.
All day long. If scouting was paid, I'd know my piece, and it would be with scouting.
Have they ever thought about doing that? Making it paid? Has there ever been that discussion?
No. Well, I don't know, but it's charity.
Because Cubs Cubs free for kids?
Yeah.
You have to pay for the supplies and the building.
It's not a lot.
Hiring
it's
and
£10
like
a month. £2.50. Well, for us at least, it's £2.50 a session.
Okay. So do you have another job?
Yeah, I have lots of jobs.
Oh, good. Fair enough. I was just worried about you. How's she eating?
No, actually, you do have to do jobs. So I've got like seasonal jobs. I have a job that's well, I want to keep it like industry based.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So keep me like loads of my friends do like front of house, but it keeps them in the theatre sort of thing. Whereas
and it's good experience as well, right? So if you say, I've done that,
it always pays to know behind the scenes. Yeah. Always, yeah.
Yeah. What was it this week? The Olivier Awards. Everyone was like, thanks to the front of house. I'm a bit like the front of house. Like but, it's just like, even like I think watching the Olivier Awards, you're keeping yourself, okay, that's the latest play that's come out, that's the latest musical
and it's
that's come
relevant out. And it's
you
up
watch
to date.
people like we got told, one of my lecturers at uni, he was like, watch the young actors and watch their paths. So if you watch like Sex Education, for example, that's some of them people's first jobs. You've now got Shooty Gatwa, that's Doctor Who. Like he's gone from, that was probably not one of his first jobs, but like, you know what I mean?
A very sort of smaller role, and now he's huge.
Bridgerton, or this is Nicola, I'm going to say her name wrong, the Irish girl, Nicola. She was she was in Derry. It's her season now, isn't it? She was in Derry Girls. Now her progression to go to Bridgerton. She's got like, so it's watching people that are say like a step ahead of you, where their roots are going, and then you follow that. But I think the world is more easier to access now that you go, okay, go onto Instagram. Your agent is this person. I'll look onto that. So
is there anything, if you had like people to influence now? Is there anything you would tell them? Any sort of stories to say? Don't really go here, do this, or any paths to follow, or just make their own decisions.
That's a question.
That's a good question. Sorry. I think it's a case of what you put into it, you get out of it. So that's what I mean. Like, some actors leave the industry because they're like, no one like me, blah, blah, blah. But have you burned all like they might have done, but have you applied for literally everything? Do it twice, like sort of thing. And I know that I haven't applied for literally everything and done it twice. So there's no point me going, I'm hard done by, because to look at my work that I've done, I do think I'm keeping myself busy, but I know I've got so many more avenues that I can explore before I call it. I'm not going to call it quits. This is my life, but you know what I mean. Before you feel hard done by, basically.
I look at it. If you don't annoy people,
you look at it.
No, I look at it as if you don't annoy people, or if people then turn around and say you're annoying me, okay, I'll stop then. Until that point, push your luck as much as possible, and keep pushing little bit until they say enough, I don't need you, and then you go, okay, then that's fine, and walk away, and then try another person, try another avenue.
But actually, I think like, the acting industry gets pedestaled, but then I think about it, it's like, not what you know, who you know. Like my like family, sort of like my mum and my brother have got like a construction industry, and that's like their jobs at the moment. But like, just think of like my brother's path of how he started. He done like what's it called when you do work experience? Like he started there, and then from work experience, and that's his path. It's like, well, my acting path is basically, I know what I mean when I say basically the same, but just because it's pedestaled, you go, I don't know. And it's all about what you know, who you know. But it's like, just from Dusty, we now have a connection. We don't need to call it networking. You're just a friend. You know what I mean?
Network, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I suppose acting is more in the spotlight as such.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't look at a construction company and go, let's focus in on them.
Yeah.
Everyone
Or he's
needs
not
to...
famous.
Yeah.
Like, he's
just in construction.
Yeah, it is. I do think there's that to it. Like, it gets a bit pedestal. It's just Yeah, it's working. Well, it is like that's what's on TV or whatnot. But
And you enjoy it though. That's the thing. The main thing is that you enjoy it. You enjoy what you do. Because if you don't, at the end of the day, then you're in the wrong industry, right?
yeah, but that's like the grafter. Like you got to think like your first wedding, you had to be like, oh, I've got nothing. Who's going to hire me for a wedding?
Well,
you know what I mean?
You do mates first.
What do you? Yeah.
You do
You
mates
start
first.
with who you know and then build up.
Yeah, and it just goes from there. Like we did a wedding Saturday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 previous weddings were there.
Yeah.
And they're
You know,
like,
and
hi guys.
And the weird thing is, usually maybe one recommended them. I don't think they did. No. We did a karaoke. You know what karaoke is?
Yes.
We did a karaoke for one of the couples. I'm not offended by it. I'm not offended by it.
We say it's
Do you like
Marmite.
them? Do you get people that are a bit like...
Yeah, I'll talk them out of it before they've even booked it.
Yeah. We
Before
say
they've
to
even
them,
booked
if
it.
you're up for
So
it.
if your guests are up for it and you think you're up for it, then we'll do it.
It probably is cute, like the ending of it, but I do think, like in the moment, people are like, I don't know.
Yeah, but no singing.
Like Grease or something like that. You're the one that won. And it's like,
no singing is involved as such, though.
you're the one that won.
Yeah, they're
It's
just
like,
mouth. Like, I'll get grandparents to just say it, and then I'll line their lips up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
I'm sure it's a cute video in years to come.
but no one knows verses. That's what drives me nuts. Yeah, we picked this song. We love this song.
Yeah.
You know the bloody chorus of it. You don't know the verse of it.
Yeah.
And that happens every time, doesn't it? And they're like, what am I saying here?
Mm-hmm.
So you take the lyrics with you. So shooting it and shooting a wedding, because they don't just want karaoke. Very rarely they just want karaoke. They want their day filmed as well. So I'm filming a day normally and then grabbing people every now and then and getting them to do these lines. So
and then having to go through that whole set of files and pick out the
but that's,
karaoke
for me,
bit.
that's the easiest bit. Yeah. The hardest bit is to pick out the karaoke bits from the normal
actual
wedding.
Yeah.
Once I've done that, editing a karaoke is quite easy because you're just lining up lips.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had someone like quite... Obviously, I know it's their day or whatever, but quite controlling on their like edits, being like, actually, I think, can you take a lower
I've
angle
been blessed.
or something like that?
I've been blessed with that.
Yeah, touch wood.
They always touch wood. They always seem happy. There's been a couple of times when they're like, could you please add the bridesmaids turning up? I know you were filming that moment, right? Yeah, I'll add it. The reason I didn't use it is because the guy driving the car came out in scruffy jeans and stuff like that, and I'm trying to keep it sort of theatrical. You know, I'm trying to keep it nice.
Romance.
And I'll just add it back. Yeah. But my personal reason was it just didn't look nice to me.
It
you know,
look professional.
Don't get me wrong, the bridesmaids are in the rest of the film, but them coming out the car, you know, cab driver comes out with his arse hanging out, you know. I was like, oh, don't need that. So, you know.
Who's the wedding in the tab theory?
Right. That is a real wedding.
Yeah, no, I got that, but I was like, you're not going, go for it, Queen, go for it at this wedding.
But we need 300 people for a wedding.
I got permission from them. I shot that about 5 years before.
Yes,
right? And I was just trying to look for a room that I could somehow mimic from my shot.
Yeah.
And we had an old...
set up with pride.
Yeah. Because you got no one's ever asked this.
Let's go.
No one's ever asked this.
Yeah.
So we shot my scene in outside Seven Oaks.
Yeah.
I can't remember where. Somewhere at Limpsfield. That rings a bell.
Sure.
Or Item or Limpsfield. Item. Can't remember. Item. We filmed it in Item, right? And it's that house you see outside is the actual house we filmed inside.
Okay.
You know, when you see, just as I answer the phone or something like that. We filmed it there and I'm like, right, we've got that now. What wedding have I done that somehow matches? And it didn't match.
Because
we had to colour the wall, I had to get the wall graded so it looked like the same colour wall that I had, and it was a pissing nightmare. But there was couples that I was filming that year and saying, look, I'm doing a comedy. Do you want to be in the scene of it? Because I was going to actually get them to react properly.
Yeah.
But that couple, the way they reacted, they'd just been pronounced husband and wife.
Yeah.
And they were just waiting to go and sign the register. And they just glanced over at me like in a weird sort of look. And I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Do you know what? I've asked them if they would be in it and they said, yeah, just use it. I don't think they've ever watched it. I don't think they even know they were on Amazon Prime. But they're in the credits.
Yeah.
They're in the credits genuine wedding 5 years before. Yeah. Easily 5 years before.
Because it had...
And Leeds Castle.
Yeah,
Their location was Leeds Castle.
Yeah. But like you said, we had to literally look at everything we did, match the wall up and think, right, this is a dark wall. What wedding? And going back through thousands of weddings thinking, what wedding can we use? We've done this, not the right angle. They haven't really positioned themselves right. They haven't looked over it.
Some of them
look
said,
shocked enough. And
some of them said, no, if that's all right, no, we'd rather not. Fair enough,
we had the perfect room, didn't we? It was exactly the same because it was sort of like panelled
halfway down, I think, or panelled up, something like that.
And we had the perfect wedding, and you put it in, and then you asked permission, and then they went, no, we're not up for that. And we were like, oh, damn it, so you had to take that out, find it again.
Right.
And
yeah, but he just glances over enough for it to look like they're there. Did it look like they were there to you?
Yeah.
Or could you tell they weren't? Obviously, you're an actor, so you know that it wasn't real.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It worked. I think it worked.
It was funny. It was really funny.
Did you know I was at a wedding until that you see the wedding scene?
No.
Good.
That's what
that was
really
Because
funny.
it looked like I was filming a porno, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
You had
that's,
like leather chaps on.
no,
didn't
she
you?
had.
She
She
did,
did.
she had a
Remember
a
the wonky eyed
skirt.
assistant?
Yeah. She had.
She turned round and her skirt
Yeah.
was just showing her
Yeah.
ass.
Actually, she was. I wouldn't
just a-
say uncomfortable with that, but I've never seen her in that. She was a little bit nervous, wasn't she?
Yeah. Now
'Cause
this
she's-
is a pole instructor, pole
she's a
fitness instructor,
Yeah, she
and
does
she's worn
everything.
skimpy stuff.
Yeah.
She's don't care, does she?
No,
she doesn't care.
Like they've done shows and she's in literally like the tiniest,
Mhm.
you know, like he wore.
Yeah.
She's literally been in like silver thongs and everything like that. Doesn't care at all.
Yeah.
But when we've asked her to do this, she's like, oh, and she was a tiny little bit like that, wasn't she? We'd
But she
never
was the
seen
one that got the
side.
outfit. She got the outfit off her mate.
Yeah.
So,
She
you know.
said, what about if we do this and do this? And we were like, yeah, if you want to.
But
and
the
then
thing
she's
is,
like,
right,
"Oh."
I do think it's funny though, because like with Dusty, obviously I had to do my like.
reveal.
And I was clothed,
Yeah.
but even I was like, I don't know, I feel uncomfortable.
do you see what I
But
mean
that
about
is-
that innocence about you when you did that in
But
your
we've
face?
both
Yeah.
we've both said
My mum
that
said she was
bit.
like, you didn't like doing that, did you? And I was like, no.
Yeah,
But
it
that's
was-
almost raw.
Yeah, but there
it's
was something. There was a raw.
natural,
I
yeah.
said that to you. I think at the
Yeah,
screening.
yeah.
I said, "There's this raw thing about you when you did that.
And
There was
you
something in your
seemed
face.
so
It nearly brought me to
vulnerable.
tears because you just looked really vulnerable.
Yeah.
But when
But
I
is
shot
that
it, you
funny,
didn't seem
though?
vulnerable.
Whereas I feel like the back of my head would have been funny, it'd be like that. Just like, you know what I mean?
Do you know what it gave off? It gave off
I
the
don't know why I
fact.
just look like doing that.
It gave off the. It gave off the fact like Mary Rose's life consisted of her having to do that
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get through life.
And there was
Yeah.
a
And here
bit
we go
of-
again.
Yeah.
And that's what it
Yeah,
felt
but
like to me.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit of like, oh God, it's actually getting me a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
choked up. What
Yeah,
is
but it's
her
meant to be a
backstory?
comedy, innit? And it is
Yeah,
like, but that's
I
exactly
like
that is
it.
how I feel. And like, I know they'll probably get into a deeper project or a deeper whatever meaning, but I know in my like life, in my acting life, that is people like my body is like, well, your body is your business, like I said, but it is like I know I'm a curvy girl, so that is going to be my casting. So maybe in my head I was like, just, like, but it's your typecast. I'll do the typecast. You know what I mean? That is your niche.
Me?
No, me.
Oh, right.
Mine.
Yeah,
Not
yes.
you.
You're not a
I thought you meant I only film pervy sort of scenes, which is true. No. But the same thing happened to me in a tab theory. Do you remember I started crying over a scene? She said, "What are you crying over?" I said, and it was something that really wasn't that worthy of crying over.
Yeah.
But it was the last scene, and the girl was grown up. I don't even know me actress's names. Well, yeah, what was her name? Pickering.
Rachel.
Rachel May Reid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rachel May.
You know,
yeah, my
Rachel?
wife.
What is her
And at the
name?
end, she's back, and he's at the bar, isn't she? And she said, "Oh, you did really well on the performance on the stage." And he said, "Oh, I've been doing it for years." And then she just went, "Yeah, I know," and that really touched me. I don't know why. I was like, she just said it in a way that just was perfect to me.
Yeah.
Like that just brought everything together.
Like
you know?
almost she's been keeping an eye on him in the background because she secretly liked him.
I
but
don't
didn't
know,
want to
yeah.
I
say
always
too
see, I do,
much.
like now. I feel like now that I'm like I don't know. I feel so weird. This is going tangent, but I feel like you have your child age 18 from birth to 18 or whatever, and then 18 to like 20.
Women
now
do.
that I'm in, now that I'm in my next stage,
Yeah.
I get emotional at everything. Now my mum used to
God, all
like
the
Britain Got
time.
Talent, be like. Get now, like I was watching like Red Nose Day or Comic Relief or something like that, and I did have the hump with my boyfriend. I was just sat there like that, and then a little story came on. hold me. I was crying. But I do it all the time. My friends, when we was in Poland, they were doing like there was a Greek tour group that literally was doing like the da 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 da. And the fact that the girls joined in and started doing it, I literally went, oh God, and they came over and went, why are you crying? I was like, it's just beautiful. You know, I couldn't. I cried so much. And I was a bit ashamed of it. And now I'm like, no, actually, I'm like in touch with what I feel.
10 times worse when you actually have children as well.
Yeah.
I can't watch any of that, you know, like Stand Up to Cancer and all that sort of stuff, and there's children involved, and I'm like, I can't watch it.
It's seeing those little...
I do think, but sometimes it is like that is like obviously deep and emotional, but some things is just stupid, like that dancing. They were wetting themselves laughing, kicking their legs. Anything like acting wise, as soon as the performance starts, I just cry.
Can you cry on cue if they've asked you? Can you?
Yeah. Now.
She cries on cue just to wind me up. She does it in public in the like shopping centre. She does it in the shopping centre, like as if it's like I've said something horrible to her, and she don't, and she starts crying, and I'm going. She's just joking, everyone. Nightmare.
I do it all the time. When something happens, like having a chat, I'm like, "You want to start this now? Do you want to start this now?" And then stop it.
You're like, oh God.
Well, really? You want to bring it up here? Okay, like, yeah. I love that.
Like she's getting into the role.
Oh, brilliant.
Crying on cue. I'd like emotional. I do think emotional stuff over funny stuff. I'd prefer to like switch to get to an anger than switch to get to a happiness. I do like that.
Yeah, I'm used to doing comedy sort of stuff, but I'm going to try something a bit more serious at some point.
I think there's just depth. There's not depth to acting, but it's almost like you go
to you. That's what she's saying.
But you know that you've got the rhythm is like landing the joke, whereas so you could say cut and then I'm out of it. Whereas if I'm angry and I've got myself angry and I'm shouting whatever and you go cut, I know that I'm there for a minute going, I've got to just come out of it now. Yeah. So I like that I'm lost more in that so much.
Well, that's like who plays the Joker?
You look like you're crying now. Have you got watery eyes now?
No.
Oh right, okay. Just glaring the glasses.
No, who plays the Joker?
What's his name? Phoenix. Yeah.
And I think his role in that, he must have had some counselling or something because he took that so deep.
The Joker people do, don't they?
Yeah. And I just thought he took that so deep that, you know, cut and he can't be just going, hi everyone, I'm fine, I'm happy, because he's had this mental sort of aspect in his mind that he has to portray and then sort of going, oh yeah, I'm fine now. You can't do that sometimes.
Yeah. Well, the bloke that plays Elvis still talks like Elvis. Still talks like Elvis, doesn't
he? Yeah. Well, I think he had to have lessons to speak in his normal language.
Normal language, you mean voice?
He had a twang,
like diction and how
I think he wasn't American or anything, was he? I'm not sure.
He's American, but he just he's not thank you very much, and he just carried on talking like that.
Yeah, he is more like
he carried on talking like that even after.
But I think I would be the exact same. I do think I'm one of them actors that
takes it,
live and breathe it to get it.
Yeah.
Whereas like my boyfriend, who's like also an actor, you go cut and you go like that. I'm like, how have you done that to just go clicked? That's nice. I can't. Yeah,
I think I can switch out of it.
Well, even if you're serious, like if you're sitting there and you're in a scene and you're crying your eyes out, and let's say someone's lying in your hands dead, and you're like, oh my God, and then you think, all right, chuck them out and be like, yeah, hell yeah.
Not immediately, but it wouldn't carry on. 5 minutes, give me 5 minutes, I suppose.
That might be a male thing and a female thing.
Well, Jim Carrey, is it Man on the Moon?
Man on the Moon?
He portrayed a guy that was in, I think it was Taxi. Taxi's a serious sitcom in the 80s. He portrayed a guy from that. And he acted him the whole time for months.
Yeah.
And
like even at home,
the director had to call him by the guy's name. I can't remember. Sorry, I can't remember the names of this, but the director had to call him by. There's a documentary on Netflix about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
To the point where, like, this actor had a fight with a professional wrestler back in the 80s, and they called this professional wrestler back to do the film again.
Yeah.
But with Jim Carrey as the guy, because the guy's dead now.
Yeah.
And Jim Carrey wound him up exactly the same way that the original actor wound him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's just taking.
Yeah,
not taking it too far, but just
away from the camera, just constantly away from the camera.
Yeah, but you do find it hard. Like again, like I would say, I'm always going to bring it to Dusty, but like the dynamic of like me, Rob, and Reese got on like a house on fire, and then I was meant to be horrible to Reese or dislike him. It was like, I love Reese like off camera, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, so it is hard to fake that relationship. Whereas like you'd rather, not that I'd rather not got along with Reese, but it probably would have helped that.
What I sort of liked about it is you could tell you was enjoying yourself throughout the whole. If you watch Dusty, you're grinning from ear to ear.
Yeah.
You're grinning like also you're a viewer.
Yeah.
As well as being in it. Do you know what I mean? In the back of the car, you're just sort of watching what's going on with a grin on your face, like you're watching Dusty.
Yeah. So I think I've got terrible poker face, but I think that helps with my acting. Like if you've done something and I don't, I will be like, and someone say, "Don't tell your face to shut up a minute." But I will. But I think like
It worked in Dusty.
giving and receiving and like acting and responding.
Because you just look vacant
helps.
of what's going on.
Yeah.
No matter how much crap those two were in, or all three of you are in. Like with the police turning up.
Yeah.
When you were beaming.
When them two are fighting in the car,
And
I was
you're
like,
just sitting like...
And you got told to get out. The police wouldn't get out.
pushed it.
And that's not even in the main
Yeah.
recording of Dusty now, but the main edit of Dusty. But
Yeah.
you got told out.
Yeah.
And you're grinning from ear to ear as you get pulled out.
Yeah.
Like you're just used to it happening in your life.
Yeah.
You know, that's what
But then that becomes her, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Then
that's
becomes
it,
less
exactly.
Mia being corpsing,
Yeah.
and more like Mary Rose has done this before.
Yeah,
or
she's done it
another
before,
one.
yeah.
It becomes
Exactly. That's
that,
what it
and
was
then you
like,
feel like you almost like train yourself to feed to that bit. That I was gonna say that what I was thinking is, and I've just done it there. But when I'm playing Mary Rose in the day, and then having to play the teacher at night. So what I was gonna say about transitioning from character to character is my having to speak like a well-spoken teacher at night, and then
Right,
my she wasn't my director then. I think she was one of the actors then became my director, but she kept saying that I had to keep. I said something about the dolls with three faces. And if I don't think about it, I will say dolls with three faces.
Yeah,
And she
yeah.
went, no, because you're a teacher.
has
The
to
dolls
go.
with three faces. So I've got better at it now. Probably if I don't think about it, I will say three. But yeah, I do have to be like three.
I can't do it. I can't tell the difference between TH and Fs.
No,
I honestly
But
can't.
then, because I've trained myself to try and do three or through all that, I would say like four and then forget and go, four.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to say it. That's not your TH.
No,
that's your F. And I do it the wrong way round.
Fault. See, am I saying fault with an F?
Thought.
People say I'm saying it with an F.
Yeah.
Fault.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if I say
you are.
four, I'm doing FORT.
Go on and do it with a TH.
Thought.
Yeah,
Fault.
thought.
Is that correct now? Fault.
You got to
Fault?
lick
Fault.
your top teeth.
Fault. Yeah, fault is almost like something that you have at a castle.
I know, but
Not thought.
but it sounds exactly the same.
It does.
Fault.
It's going to be
Fault.
sick.
Fault. I just cannot tell the difference between the F and the
Fault.
TH.
So I've got
And
quite a long
thought.
tongue, so I get like tongue twisted a bit. So that's probably why I've just pushed it back in my mouth before.
I had that tongue. Well, I'm thinking about at some point.
Dusty reunion.
Yeah, I'm
Lean
thinking
to
about
it,
running through the episode while we were watching it while we were on a podcast.
Oh, like cast.
Oh, I love
cast,
that. But that was I'd be every 5 minutes pausing and going. Like,
That's what we do.
okay.
We'll pause it. We'll watch it on here,
Yeah.
and we're thingy it. What's this called? Podcast it.
Yeah.
And go through it. I was
I
going to
love
do it with
that.
the Tab Theory at some point as well with main actors and that. So
Yeah.
me, you, Rob, Reese.
Yeah.
I think that's all we can get in this room.
Yeah.
And we'll watch that. Rach can sit on the floor.
Under the table.
Are you going to get them on, Robin?
Yeah,
on that?
yeah.
Well,
They'll be on at some point. I've not spoken to Reese for ages.
Yeah.
I think we're friends on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll sort that out.
Yeah.
I don't think he even replied in the group thing yesterday, did he?
I don't know.
Can't remember.
I'll tell him to tell you.
You're still in touch with him?
I meet up with Reese quite a lot. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
I think he's lovely. I think he's like a good person because he's like, well, he'll hate that I say he's older, but he's got good life advice.
I think he's got a bit of method about him because on the shoot,
Yeah.
people were going, he's an arse. I was like, he's in character.
Yeah,
Is what
yeah.
he is. Do you know what I mean?
but when you actually
But it's
had
your perception because when I like met him, just looking at him, he looks like such like a. You know what I mean? One of them like you kind of want to go. Oh, you're not going to have the time of day for me. And then like come 2-3 days in, he knew I needed to sleep, and there was nowhere to sleep. And he went, Mia, just come fall. Like I sat on his lap and just fell asleep on his lap because he knew. Like when we was in the care home bit, there was nowhere, and like so I think he's like a lovable giant.
Yeah,
Innit?
I knew he was all right. One-on-one, completely different person with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, respectful, nice, and all that. That when he gets a crowd, he
Yeah.
turns into Mike.
Yeah.
because he was trying to sort of keep in the character.
Yeah.
Or like a show, he might just be an arsehole.
No, exactly.
No,
But it
he's
was
alright.
funny every time he met someone new, didn't it? Because we'd like establish that relationship with him, and like wrestling would come up. And stop mentioning it. Like, are you going on about it again?
The thing is, I like a bit of professional wrestling, so I had lots of chats with him about that. Because he was going to send me.
But it does naturally come up. You go, what have you done? So then you do your list, and that is what he has done.
He showed me a video. He showed me a video of him doing professional wrestling, and the walls were green.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, send me it, because I was just going to put them like a capacity crowd, because it's green. I can get rid of that so easily and stick a capacity crowd in there so it looks like it's at Wembley or something.
Well, that was funny if we made that part of his backstory as well with Mike.
Wrestling,
Like, he used to do wrestling. But like, he'd showed me that video, and that's like 2005, and he is a full-grown adult doing that, and I was like, I'm 5 years old. I'm a baby. He's like, oh, don't say that.
Was you born in 2000?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's what I mean. The boys kept doing it. They kept going, and when were you born? I was like, little
I got married the first time in 2000.
2000.
You're 26 years older than her, though.
Be my dad.
Oh, God. 24,
Easily.
Rach. How'd you work that out?
You were 26 when you got married, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You're
if you...
26.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if...
That's
if
2
Hang
years
about,
off of
hang
me.
about, it's another mug. It's another mug coming.
All right.
Right, how am I 26? She was born in 2000.
Oh, no, sorry, you were 20... Sorry.
I was 26 in 2000. So because she was born in...
24 is...
I was 24 in 2000. So because she was born
No,
in 2000.
you were 26.
You got married at 24. What?
In 2000,
Yeah.
You're
I was 26.
Yeah.
I am 26 years older than her. You are right.
Oh, yeah.
26 years older than you.
Yeah.
Because she was born that year and you were 26.
No, I don't know. I don't know where I was going from.
I can't imagine. Like, like people tell you of their lives, that you saying you got married at 26, like 2 years older than me, and I could not imagine me being like 26. And,
Well, it didn't work.
No, but you do hear like people like my nan. She's like, when she was about 21, 22, she had twins and my mum, and I'm like, you're 22 years old with 3 kids, and I'm past that now. I was like, I could not imagine myself now with like little ones running around. That would drive.
So when we got married, I was 24, wasn't I? And I'd already had Tilly. So I was 18 months old.
I got
But
5
now
children.
I look at Tilly now and just think, oh my God, married when you're 30,
Yeah,
settle down
that is-
later on.
My eldest son is 30 this year. And I've got one that's 2001, so a year younger than you. And then one that's 2 years younger than you, or 3 years younger than you.
Kids you got?
5.
Oh, not judging you.
No. You should. Everyone else does.
Slut.
Right, so yeah, we get a dusty show going on where we just play it all through and run through it and pause it and have a laugh. All right?
Yeah, and
So-
then we can film a sequel as well. The next episode.
How much time do you think I got?
Are you going to do it in 9 days again? Because that was hard work.
Don't do that. No.
Where did you get the 11 days from? Didn't I go on about that on
Yeah.
that? It was 9 days, wasn't it?
It was,
I think so.
It was literally...
I think it was 8 because we weren't there for one of them. So I think we done 8 days in total.
Yeah,
what,
and
what
then
did
we
we
did-
do that you want? Oh, with flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah, flashback.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it was 9 days. And everyone was like, get on with it. And I'm like, it wasn't 11 days. You're saying 11, it was 9 days.
Yeah.
It was
But you
9.
would spread it out this time if you had to, yeah?
Not really.
Really? What, you like that 9 days?
Yeah, but all
cramming
the time we
everything
were
in?
doing that, we wasn't getting paid. So, for other filming. So
That's true.
you got to try and compact it.
Hmm. I do think that like the environment that created, because it was sort of like a voluntary thing, is everyone's like willingness to be there, which I think quite like I haven't been able to replicate that environment in other shoots because it's like you're getting paid to do this,
and-
you care or don't care, but now you're getting paid.
And
at
that's
the end of the day.
why we lost a lot last minute, because there was no commitment
But then
to
you
it.
wouldn't have had me.
Yeah, I know. That's
true.
why went downhill.
I do think
slightly.
what?
So that idea, what?
No, but I think that worked out for the best. Like
Of course
having
it did. I'm
me.
only joking.
No, no,
Stop
no.
going defensive. Now who's sitting up in there?
Yeah, but that is like the silver lining. Me, like.
Oh my God.
No,
Don't
but
be
then, like,
typical actress.
because the actress was in your film as well, wasn't she?
She was, yeah.
But like, think of how their dynamic is so different to the dynamic I've brought to it. You know what I mean? But I think it is
Would
quite
she-
funny that I am a younger, like,
yeah.
role, and he's like, oh, shake off this blooming.
Now,
teenager
don't disrespect
or
her.
whatever.
I don't look at that.
Yeah,
I don't look at Dusty and think you're miles away from each other's age. I don't.
Me and her.
You and Mike.
Oh, me and Mike.
I don't think you're. I don't look at you.
Oh no, I know I'm not like fresh out the womb. Like... I get that.
No, I don't look at you as a free and see a massive age gap in that story. I don't. Okay. I personally don't.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I don't. I don't even.
Because we're your children.
Because you're all mature.
All my children. You bastards.
Yeah, but I think I do. I do see that, like, Rob is like.
A little bit.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's significant. So like, I'm not a teenager. I am like early 20s. But you tell they're.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why with me it's never sort of crossed my mind.
Maybe because you know the background? I don't know.
Yeah, you got backstory that we don't know. Maybe I'm lying about my age. Maybe I am the same age as them. But you don't know that yet.
Oh, twist.
As Mary Rose, not as Mia.
I always like the me running up behind you while you're running into Mike and jumping on him.
Yeah.
The intro of with the
yeah, I like that.
With the trolley, that always cracks me up.
I think that's funny, like a willingness to do, like the conversations had before. Because Rob wanted me to run up and snog Reese. He was like, just kiss him, just go for it. And I was like, I can't. You read it all over my face. That I've like, that's me going bright red of embarrassment. Yeah. I don't know, like, I feel like there needs to be a rehearsal. You can't tell me to run up and kiss him. Yeah. If you went, right, this is stage 1, you're going to do this, and kiss. What I want from this kiss is this, and this. Yeah. If you broke it down, like, almost logically, step by step, and made it, have a choreography
go up
to
him and
keep it natural.
But then if you
do that, she would get embarrassed. She'd be like, "Oh my god, I've just done this," and then you would see it, and then but your character is meant to be so madly in love with this person and like almost besotted with him.
So why would you get embarrassed? Him? Like which I can do. So I think you see in the video. Oh, I know in the film that I do think I do kiss him on like the cheek. Blah, blah, blah. And then I just literally I got as close as I could to Reese's ear and just done the little like giggling. I had to hide behind his ear because I was like so embarrassed.
Because she always laughs at the I'm my own man, can't be tamed. She cracks up every time she sees that.
And the bit when he comes into the studio and the music's on, but there's no music, but he just
when Reese comes in here,
his head is so amazingly perfect to the music because he goes in and goes
and there's no music, was there? That was complete silence.
You spoke about that, didn't you? About if you was to do it again, you would have had music for actors to dance to because we was all going to different tunes. Yeah. Or that we weren't shouting, we was all talking, and you was like,
no, it's because my
character
Moses, that's him. Yeah, he was whispering. I was whispering.
Yeah.
And if music had been on, I wouldn't have been whispering. Yeah. But it's hard because the music would have to be perfect every time I said something for it to work. So you've got to do it without music.
You'd have to play it.
But I just wish there was a director telling me.
To do that.
Rob did say you're whispering.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know, but that's a part of Moses. He sort of does this whisper.
Yeah.
But if Rob had said to me, remember there's music, I might have been a bit different. Yeah. I redubbed him. I redubbed me.
Oh, did you?
To be a bit louder.
Yeah. That's funny. I think that's funny, like knowing the truth of the fact of like
behind the scenes.
This is this room where we filmed it. But we're not ever watching Janie be the OAP doing the. You know what I mean?
No, that's right. So for people,
but we didn't actually watch it in the moment. So
Dusty might be out on Amazon by the time this comes out because it's been put up there. I'm just waiting for it to be approved.
Yeah.
So if you watch Dusty, which is on Amazon, hopefully, there's a party scene and you guys sit down on a sofa. Yeah. Which is in the other room and can't even see this room. This room was the party room, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And she's sitting there, isn't she?
Yeah, and does it.
Yeah, and she sort of does a Basic Instinct, which you haven't seen, obviously, because you're about 12. She does a Basic Instinct. And that woman's been in loads of things, like Big Brother and everything.
He's done something with her, he knew.
Oh, was he? Yeah. Oh, right, he's done something with her. She's in loads of stuff. And she does a old granny Basic Instinct thing, and then you guys get up and leave, didn't you? We've removed all my talking about we and everything. I haven't got much dialogue now.
Yeah.
So I just go, hello, come in. Yeah. Because I just didn't want to take it too much off the main characters.
Yeah.
But that actual film was done in here, like you said, in that corner, and then in the other room, completely two separate rooms. And you've got
and we never saw it, and we have to fake it. I think it's funny, like and whether it's obvious or not, that I know that when we entered this room, I'm trying to give not too much away, and people go, I can see that you've done that. That when I walk past the camera, I've sort of got to do that to get away from camera. No one would have clocked that, but I know that I've gone to get away.
I didn't notice it.
No, but I know that I'm not. I know that I'm stopping at that point rather than keep walking to whatever. And even like the day where we didn't have the makeup artist and
Day 2, the rain.
Oh, the rain day.
didn't have. But so I've put on. I've done the makeup myself. I don't think I had false eyelashes on, but as an actor, that really affected me because I was like, really affected me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
we,
It affected that I knew it was not how we'd look every day, and I thought it really mattered. And then watched it, and I was like, oh, I don't even notice that I'm wearing different makeup.
Because basically, in the actual thing, you've gone from knocking on the door or being picked up in the prison wearing your makeup to then driving to then getting to his house fully with no makeup on to then going into the party with makeup on. Yeah. So it's literally like that. But
well, the makeup's on. It's just I've done it.
That's why that's why we also. That's a reason why we got you to wipe Reese's face because
of kisses.
He had kiss marks all over him.
Oh,
yes.
And then we would go.
I love the pictures of that. Like we were really like strategically going right. So I kissed in there.
Yeah.
And Reese's face like that. So I was so tense. I'm like,
just stay still.
That one.
Yeah.
Because
the next scene he wouldn't have had any makeup on, so it was good that we said wipe this makeup off of him while you're doing that.
Because it would have had to have been exactly, literally, we would have to have taken a photo and placed the kisses exactly the same ways. But obviously we filmed that bit beforehand, so we couldn't.
And there's a couple of scenes we had to cut with Rob because if you remember, he came out of work with Reese originally. And they walked down together, and he said he's going to go back and pull that bird. I can't remember what he said, but Bob was laughing. He was like, and then all of a sudden, you get to the car, and he's as stressed as anything. I was like, I can't use them two because the comparison's so off.
Yeah, I loved that day because of like obviously the lines of dialogue that had to leave our mouths, and the nursery was like, "Can you be quiet, please?" Yeah, you remember that? Like, so was, at the community centre, there was like a little nursery down the alleyway where the car was, and they were like. Just looking at us like all them words, got told to be quiet, and like that was so funny. Or people going, "Am I going to be in a movie?" That was. I like that day. That was a good day.
That's funny. I had to get a couple of passers-by to sign something because he was walking down the steps with his kids.
Yeah.
So I got them to sign it. I don't think I had to use it in the end.
I don't think.
But every time I was Moses. The focus went off because I didn't have glasses.
Yeah. When you're at the door, you're all like a bit out of focus, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have my glasses on. It wasn't me out of focus. It was Bob out of focus.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So whoever was filming me, you.
No, you were filming in the door, weren't you?
What?
You were dressed as Moses filming Rob.
Yes, but
so you didn't have your glasses.
She said I was out of focus.
No, Rob
I wasn't out of focus, but Rob was out of focus. Yeah.
But
and that's because I had no glasses
on.
That,
you know that house? How did Rob just knock on all the houses and say, "Can I have your house?"
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like I said, chance it until someone says
I think Rob's got really good work ethic. I'll give him that. I'll give him a lot of like compliments. But like his work ethic is so like
definitely. Yeah. Anyway, where can people find you then? If they want to hire you or if they want anything from you, where can they find you?
She's here.
Now.
Locked in the Cherrywood studio.
If you
not anymore.
Google Mia Glyn-Jones, so it said there.
Mia Glyn-Jones.
GLYN-Jones. I've got a website. So you come in my website and contact me through that.
What's that website address?
MiaGlyn-Jones.com.
So has it got a hyphen in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's thinking like, oh God,
I'm pretty sure that if you put MiaGlyn-Jones.com, I'll come up. And then you can go on my Instagram, and that's just Mia Glyn-Jones without a hyphen. Because they don't allow hyphens on Instagram. No. And I'm like, what's that about?
I think underscores they do, because I think mine is _Rach_. But they don't do hyphens, Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram, and then that's got a link to Zam, which if you click on the link that's on my bio, it will take you to more platforms that you can see me on, like Mandy and stuff like that. And if you've got a Spotlight account, type in my name, and it's my face.
It's my face. What? Your name is my face, or is it Mia Glyn-Jones?
Mia Glyn-Jones. Yes.
Perfect.
Mia Glyn-Jones through and through.
Lovely to see you, darling. I've
Thank
not
you
seen you
so
for a year, have I? I've not seen you
No.
since. Oh,
Well,
no.
September.
Yeah,
Rude.
September.
Yeah.
Road.
That day was a blur to me. That filming. I was
I had
so
to leave.
nervous.
I was a bit sad. I had to leave early.
So did I.
Oh right,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I ran. Well, I say we ran off. We went to Wagamama's with like Reese and that. But my
Oh right.
nan and my mum came to see it, and my boyfriend.
did.
They ran up. Yeah, that day was so like. Well, I know you've just ended it.
That's this happens.
we do all
This happens all the time.
But I'll talk about the day quite bluntly. But I've been off the stigma. Basically, the morning I've woken up, or like weeks ahead, I planned to wear a full white outfit.
Yeah.
So some really nice white trousers. That day, the painters came knocking, so I couldn't wear white. So I had to look at what was in my wardrobe, and I was like, but that put me in a bad way of going, I planned that outfit for a bloody year. Like, so I put on this blue dress, but that it was tight fitting, so then I felt like a bit swollen in my stomach, so I was a bit like, whatever. But I took no photos of that day because I was like, what if people don't like it? What if people don't like that? I was so nervous. I probably had the loudest laughter out of everyone. I loved it. It was so good.
It's actually seen, like, especially with your mum and your nan there
Yeah.
as well, and you're more watching them watch it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because you know what happens, you've seen it, and you're sort of sitting there going, are you enjoying it? Are you liking it?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, then tell me what you think.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think like the context of it, like my granddad was like, maybe I won't come and see this one. I was like, here we go. But yeah, I do think it helped that Rob was sat behind me,
Yeah.
and I had the biggest laughter, and he said that helped when I was going, like, considering I'd not seen it, but obviously acted in it so many times. Well, no, we've seen quite a bit of the
We
content,
showed you
I
a
would say.
few clips, didn't
Yeah.
we? But you hadn't seen it all put together, had you?
No,
I don't think.
but I
No.
was
So
proper.
I'd seen everything. I mean, even our son, because where you were editing, you have to go through the office to get to our son's bedroom. So
Yeah.
he would edit at night. And Ted knows some of the words now, like off by heart. Like he was watching it going, oh yeah, I know this bit. And then would like repeat the words. And he goes, how do you know? And he went, oh, because I edit it and he can hear it.
It's the same with Marioke's. He knows all the songs from
Yeah, no,
Marioke's.
he does. I do
Awesome.
find that when you are editing, like, well, obviously you guys are going to go far more than I do, but when I have to edit things and I have to go, it goes like, I don't know, I'm going to say dudum, and then you got here, dudum, so many times so you can line it up from shot to shot.
Yeah.
That drives my brain insane, and I don't have to do it all that often. So.
Yeah,
I
I
only
hate
imagine your lives.
I hate editing videos. Oh,
Yeah.
God, it drives me insane. To the point where I get Tilly to do it. If I need something for social media,
Yeah.
I'll say to her, right, put all this stuff on there. I said, make me a video too.
I think
Yeah,
she used CatCup, wasn't she?
Yeah.
CatCup's quite a cool
Yeah.
little thing
Yeah.
to use.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
she's
think like
really
even
good
in
at that.
self tapes, I got to go, hi, I'm Mia Glyn-Jones,
Yeah.
and then you forget how to say your name. So I'm like, Mia Glyn. And I have to do it again a million times. But that in my editing is going, I've just like left it rolling, so it's got 5 minutes. I've got to go right at 1 minute
This
40.
Brilliant.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming on. It's been
It's all right.
amazing.
Thanks
Nice
for
to see you
having
again,
me.
darling. Come here. Yeah, good to see you.
I'll come again.
Good to see ya.
definitely.
Thank you.
And there we go. All done. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Cut. This podcast has been brought to you by Snugdubs Camper Van Hire.
Roam the world, park anywhere.
That's snugdubs.co.uk. This podcast was brought to you today by Austin's Eatery on Station Road, Strood.
Try the Viking Challenge.